Welcome to Uniquely Loved, a celebration of authenticity and divine inspiration. We are encouraged to be our own unique, authentic selves. Join me, Tech Witch Niki, as we discuss spiritual gifts and skills we can develop and enhance, speak with amazing people using their skills in a variety of ways, and explore the different ways to connect to the wonders of the universe. Have you ever thought of someone that you haven't seen in a while, and then boom, they message you out of the blue? Have you ever had a feeling of deja vu, where you felt like you dealt with something already as it happened? Somehow you just know how to handle the situation, all the while knowing you've never actually been in that situation before. Weird, right? Now, I have been taught that there is actually no such thing as a coincidence. They are actually signs and synchronicities from the universe and from our guides to help us walk our path. Our intuition is always picking up on little signs throughout each day. We get communications and symbolism in our sleep as well. They all come in the form of colors, scents, memories, ideas, inspiration, emotions, and more. They're like little breadcrumbs that lead us to find answers to what we're dealing with at any given time. I love finding them and figuring out how each of the signs that I pick up fit together to form a story. Our guides are always reaching out to us to help guide us to what is in alignment with our heart and our soul. And I am fascinated by the many different tidbits of information that I find myself picking up on. I also get super excited when my clients, friends, and family also start noticing the little clues that are meant for them. Everyone has spiritual gifts. Everyone. Many may call it intuition. Many call them coincidence. Many call it inspiration. It doesn't matter what label we use. We all have access, and I love helping people uncover theirs. Something happened the other morning that inspired this whole episode. I was getting so many different signs from my guides, all in a matter of like 2 hours. And it took some time for me to be able to put them all together into one cohesive story that made sense. And it's usually like that. We don't always get all the answers right off the bat. And even those of us who are more connected to our intuition and our spiritual skills, uh, it's just we're not given all the answers. I mean, if we were, we wouldn't learn anything, right? It can be frustrating and fascinating all at the same time. Now, to preface this story, it deals with the idea of past lives and reincarnation. Many of us have them, some do not. There are some souls who are on this earth living their very first incarnation. Now, if you don't happen to believe this way, that's okay. I'm not trying to push my views or beliefs here. I'm just explaining what I have learned from this experience and from my guides. Myself, my hubby, and both kiddos have all had past lifetimes, and we've all been working to heal our subconscious, past traumas, triggers, and repressed emotions. Now, my youngest is 5. She actually turned 5 right after Christmas. She is growing and is in that stage where she just wants to be a really big kid and do everything on her own. And she wants to show just how big she is, that she can do all the things her big sister can. It is awesome and frustrating all at the same time for all of us, and mostly for her, because she doesn't know yet how to handle those really big emotions that come up with all of this. And we do what we can to stay calm and help her through it all. It's totally normal stuff. But this morning was kind of like that. She woke up grumpy. She didn't want to get out of bed, and then she wanted to get herself ready all by herself. Cool. We gave her a few minutes to collect herself, and I went in there to help her along. She was so grumpy. Um, and when I walked in, I had a sudden smell of yucky old poop. Literally that. And anyone who has ever had to use a porta potty that hasn't been clean in a while knows what I'm talking about. Anyone who's ever deployed to a not so nice place and had to use burnout latrines knows what I mean. Old poop. I did check. She didn't do anything to make that smell. I always check to see if there's like a mundane or a muggle reason to rule it out. It was strong. And it was only in her room. And after a moment, I guess she got tired of me trying to figure out, hey, did you did you do anything? She decided on Daddy helping her get ready instead of me. And once downstairs, she was happy and she was giggling while eating breakfast. And I come into the kitchen and I start smelling a musty old scent, like how I imagine an abandoned house smells with no fresh air in it. Or what we can imagine someone like Indiana Jones smelling entering an ancient tomb long abandoned. It wasn't oppressive like the smell in her room. It was lighter. And it seemed to get lighter as the morning went on before we took her and her sister to school. So far we have the I want to do it myself and go away mood, as well as these weird smells. And I got on my tarot cards after they left for the day to just touch base. I do it every morning anyways to see, hey, what do I need to know for the day? Is there going to be a theme? And I was confused because the cards that jumped out didn't make sense for me personally. I had to ask for the proper context. That's really big. The story the cards gave were about somebody who well, they were feeling very limited and not believing in themselves. Someone who may have been betrayed in the past and needed to heal from that. Someone who was still searching for their identity, their purpose, and accepting it all the while needing acceptance from those around them. And it took me a few minutes before I realized I was getting information on my youngest and the struggle that she was going through. My guides then told me, in my mind, I could actually hear this part, that she was clearing out old issues of not being accepted for who she was. And then I was overcome with the emotion or feeling of love. And this told me that she needs extra love right now as she figures out how to handle her big emotions. Also, to have that validation that she is loved no matter how she acts, no matter how she turns out later on. And of course, I assured my guides, hey, we always will. And we will always keep assuring both of our kiddos and each other that, we love each other and we support each other. Then they gave me the smells again, and it finally clicked. The puzzle of the smells and everything finally fit together. She was clearing out old shit from past lives, past life crap that made her feel unloved and unaccepted, where she was made to feel like she wasn't worthy. And sometimes our guides can be very literal in their methods, like, smelling that. Ugh. Once I finally put the whole story together, I felt energy around me like I was getting hugged. And I love that. I always tell my guys I love hugs and I accept them. So the moral of the story here is don't discount something just because it doesn't make sense in the moment. It may very well be a small part of a puzzle that helps you unlock an epiphany or inspiration later on. And it may not be that day. It might come within a day or two. Now, some of you may be thinking, 5 is really, really young to be clearing out stuff like that. But it can't happen. It shouldn't happen. Well, this age is extremely foundational for our kids. Here's where they're establishing if they can trust their support systems, like family, friends, schools, daycare, and the like. Here's where they're actually creating and learning boundaries, such as, hey, no hitting, or how to act when big emotions come up within them, or how to react to big emotions in others, and more. So the more love, support, and healthy structure that we can show our kids helps them develop in all areas. Now, disclaimer, I am by no means a perfect parent. I am still learning and growing, as are my kiddos. I'm just doing the best that I can for them, as well as for anyone else that I work with. Thank you for joining me today as we explore what makes us uniquely loved. Be sure to subscribe. More adventure awaits. For more articles and to work with me as your personal guide, go to www.techwitchlayer.com. Always remember, you are accepted, you are valid, you are loved.